But it is time for round 8 of the Formula 1 2015 World Championship. We picked up some good points in the previous race, 10 championship points thanks to a 5th place finish in Canada. So we are currently 7th in the World Championship. Felipe Massa's right hot on our heels, as is Felipe Nasr. Managed to get himself a 4th place finish in Canada actually, so fair play to him. Bit of a gap now to Daniel Ricciardo ahead of us, and a bit of a gap to Red Bull now ahead of us in terms of the constructors, but it would help if Checo could start scoring some points for the team, because we are 1 behind Sauber now, because Marcus Ericsson himself has 12 points, whereas I'm the only Force India car of the two to have picked up points this season. So if Checo could start scoring, that would be nice. He's one of only 3 drivers not to pick up points so far this season. Typical. The 2 Mana Marussias and my teammate. But anyway, we'll jump in. It's Austria today. Not my strongest circuit, but not my worst circuit.
Welcome back to Formula 1, and welcome back to a track we haven't been at since 2003. We're at Spielberg this weekend for the Austrian Grand Prix. And first up is today's practice session. We should be set up for an interesting session as the teams attempt to gather as much data as they possibly can about this circuit.
They'll have to go out and start testing the track limits, so you might see quite a few cars running wide or locking their wheels as they see how hard they can push. As they get used to the track, the times will get faster and we should see less mistakes.
Don't know what tyre that is on though. And we are going to put in a 1:12.3. Well, 1:12 flat was our best time in practice, and that was good enough for P5. Again, wide in turn 1, but I think this might be slightly slower. No, a 1:11.9 is the fastest lap we've put in all weekend so far. So I think that will do us for qualifying. We'll let the session run out. I'll stay off the racing line.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
But it's going to be an interesting race towards the first corner tomorrow, because whoever leads into turn 2 will be in a very strong position to go on and win.
Pleased with P6. Checo in the top 10 is obviously an improvement as well from him. So maybe we'll start to see some points being scored by a teammate for the first time in the season in this one. We would have done in the last race, but he decided to actually hit me, his teammate, and spin himself out, which didn't help.
Welcome one and all to Spielberg for today's race, the Austrian Grand Prix. The circuit is owned by Red Bull. One might think this will give them an advantage. Only time will tell. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
So far, the driver of the season has been Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes man has been in good form throughout the season and will be steely determined to get another world championship.
Lewis has had some great drives this year. He's got the experience of winning a world title, so I don't think he'll be fazed about being in this position.
Okay, we're looking for a top 3 finish today.
And a top 3 finish. That is not going to happen, I don't think. But we'll try our best. In 6th from the off again. We'll brake a little bit earlier this time. Make it through turn 1. Is there any action behind us? Nothing, no yellow flags. Everybody made it through perfectly fine. Daniel Ricciardo's rear left tyre is doing a little bit of disappearing and reappearing magic. I don't know why it does that. It's only on a certain few cars that it does it. Bottas is right behind me. It's only the rear left as well. And it's always on Ricciardo's car that it does it as well. It's always really strange. We'll try our best to keep up with the Red Bull throughout the first stint of the race, because obviously it'd be nice to have DRS down the straights. You see, we're going to have slipstream on him, but Bottas is going to have slipstream on me. But we've got the real run on the Red Bull here. And we'll run wide like that to make sure that he runs wide, to make sure we keep the place. Sweet. And now those two behind us are embroiled in a battle for 6th place, and Bottas appears to have got Ricciardo there, so he's lost 2 places in the space of 1 corner, unfortunately, for Daniel Ricciardo.
Okay, if the car isn't feeling at its best at this point, do bear in mind that we are heavy with fuel. It should get better as we lighten the load further into the race.
Tyres are all orange, which is why we are going to dive in here. Whoa. With a little bit of... What? Okay. That was odd. I turned and the car went forwards. That was strange, but at least we're in the pits without damaging the car. That was really odd. Could need a quick pit stop now, boys, to be completely honest. 2.368 seconds is a quick pit stop.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
I won't though, because I've got pit assist on. There we go, we've got a Marussia for company. But now we should, over the next 3 or 4 laps, make up a lot of positions. We're up to 17th, and we will soon be up some more places as well, because there are some people in the pits again. Just check what my engine temperature's like. We can maybe do 1 more lap on... Well, there was a lot of people in the pits there. A lot of people in the pits. Jumping from 16th to 12th. This car up ahead is moving very slowly. It's Nico Rosberg. Nico's got damage. What's happened to Nico? That's one of the Mercedes out of the race by the looks of things, moving very, very slowly. Whether he's got a puncture. He didn't look like he'd lost his front wing or had any front wing damage. He may have had a puncture. I was moving too quickly past him to have a look at his tyres, to be honest. If Nico's got a puncture, he'll be able to continue. If he's got engine trouble or front wing damage, he won't be able to continue, and that will be Nico Rosberg out of the race. Alonso's in the pits, as are a few others in front of us, which means we should be able to get ourselves back up into the sort of position we were in before we pit, which was 5th or 6th. Got to beat these guys out of the pits. And we have done. We've jumped Ricciardo in the pit stops. That was exactly the plan. We're now further ahead of Ricciardo than we were before we pit, which is fantastic. The pit strategy is working to this point. Question is, can we make it last any longer? Ricciardo and Massa. So Bottas is still out on track and hasn't pit yet, I presume. We are... Yep, I was just about to say that. We are going to stop this lap. So as we come around this corner, we will do exactly what that blue line says and nip into the pits. Hopefully this time we'll do it a little bit more correctly than we did the last time. But pitting from P6 again. We pit from P6 last time, we'll pit from P6 this time. Options going on. I want to make it to lap 26, 25 or 26. I admire his determination, but I would like you to let me through now, Max, if you don't mind. Because you are now starting to hold me up. He's just not paying attention, is he? Max, blue flag. Blue flag, Max. Max, blue flag. You are 20th, Max. I'm supposed to be... You're supposed to let me past. Max, let me past. He's going for Fernando. I'm going to have to go for him. Can we make it stick, though? Going for a 2-car manoeuvre. Verstappen is determined to unlap himself. Blue flags, Max. blue flags. Dickhead! You're supposed to let me... He swerved straight in front of Alonso as well. He's not paying attention to the rules whatsoever. If a car is a back marker, and clearly the cars behind are faster, he is supposed to let them through. He did not want to let either of us through. He's still fighting Alonso back there. He's supposed to let Fernando through and just... Oh, I'm not even... We're ahead now. Let's just leave it behind us and not worry about it. And if he doesn't go on to primes, if he goes on to another set of options, if he's already used his prime compound at the end of the race, his tyres are going to go off towards the end of the race, and we will be faster than him. If we can make the next set of prime tyres work, we will be faster. Yeah, I know, I'm going to box this lap. There's Vettel in the Ferrari, pulling straight out in front of Daniel Ricciardo. If those two fight between each other for a little bit, that could help us close the gap slightly. You never know, they might have a bit of trouble between themselves and damage each other if we have any sort of luck. Is Ricciardo pitting? Ricciardo stays out. Ricciardo stays out. So we are going to be on fresher rubber when we come back out. Need another quick stop here, lads. Another quick stop. Under 2.5 seconds. Go on, do it for me.
Exit now.
They didn't. That was a slower stop. 2.556. So we lost a couple of tenths on our previous stop. There's Roberto Merri going past. Although he is a back marker, we come out in exactly the same position. We had a pit stop in hand on everybody behind us. So we're now racing to the finish. We're now racing to the finish on brand new tyres. And we are 20.8 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo. But hopefully, if we can nail this out lap, and he has a poor in lap with worn tyres and Sebastian Vettel for company, we might be able to get the jump on him in the pit stop again, just like we did last time around.
The gap between you and Button's increasing. You're lapping a second faster than him.
Yeah, the gap to those behind hasn't really been an issue all race long. It's been ourselves, Ricciardo and Massa, or Bottas. Basically ourselves, Ricciardo and one of the Williams that have been fighting for 5th, 6th and 7th all race long. But somehow Daniel Ricciardo is going to do, and Massa in front of him, they're both going to do monster stints on these prime tyres. Absolutely incredible stuff. Fair play to them. Like,
You've only got about 5 kilos of fuel remaining now. That's 5 kilos of fuel.
we go then around the final turn, lap 36 to 36 in Austria. Going to be a 7th place finish for Nico Hülkenberg in his Force India. Fair play to Daniel Ricciardo and Felipe Massa for going that far on one set of tyres. That's crazy. A little bit of glitching again still that they haven't patched out in these cutscenes, which is ridiculously frustrating, but never mind.
Another win for the Brackley-based team. What a car they've got this year.
It's been a great day's racing, and it's fair to say that they deserved that win. Their strategy was spot on.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Nico Rosberg finished 18th. That's mental. Max Verstappen 19th. We don't know what happened to him. But they did, in front of us, that Massa and Ricciardo managed 2 stops, whereas myself, Vettel and Raikkonen did 3. And Bottas, by only doing 2 stops, managed to jump himself from 4th to 2nd. Jumped both the Ferraris by doing 1 less stop. GG Valtteri Bottas. Lewis has 185 points, which Now, my maths was completely wrong previously. I was going on 15 points to win. It's 25 points to win, isn't it? This is round 8? Question mark? Or is this round 9? This is that was round 8, wasn't it? So 200 points. So he's not won every race, but he's won near enough every race. He's won 7 of the 8, or yeah, maybe he's won 7 of the 8 and then finished mid-table once, or won 6 of the 8 and finished mid-table, like podium, and then maybe 4th or 5th. But he's just so far ahead of everybody else. Nico Rosberg, the game hates him. I swear, the game absolutely hates Nico Rosberg. Almost every single race, Nico has problems, loses a wing or gets a puncture, or is involved in some sort of coming together with someone else. In the Constructors, we have jumped back up above Sauber, which is good. Sauber didn't get any points in that race, and obviously we picked up a good chunk of points for 7th, which is 6 points, isn't it, for 7th? So we will definitely take that. So we're now back above Felipe Massa. No, we were already above Felipe Massa. Massa's actually closed the gap because he finished above us in that race. So we're still 7th in the overall Drivers' Championship, although Massa is right behind us now. Next up tomorrow will be the British Grand Prix from Silverstone. So make sure you come back tomorrow at 8:45 PM, tomorrow Friday night, and we will race around Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, then obviously follow the Twitch channel if you haven't already, and follow if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe to the second channel, ChesnoidPlays, if you haven't already. As always, though, feel free to follow me on Twitter, etc., and you'll be able to stay up to date with everything that goes on with me. I am going to be starting to stream twice a day as of Monday. So make sure that you follow the Twitch channel if you don't already, and make sure you follow me on Twitter if you don't already, so you know exactly what I'm streaming and when I'm streaming. Because next week, the Formula 1 streams will move to the afternoon, and it will be Football Manager back in the evenings. So you'll have to be around in the afternoon streams to watch Formula 1 if that's what you want to watch. And if you're interested in the FM streams, then they'll be coming back next Monday, and we'll be in the transfer window with Everton. But it'll be FIFA 15 at the weekends as per usual. But for now, that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all the support as per usual. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thanks again to Ruben for the donation. Fortunately, there was no Crashnoid, and fingers crossed it'll be the same story tomorrow. But I will see